it helps if you unmute the mic. That tends to help. Yo, what's going off? I've had to put a shirt on because obviously camera angle. I don't. It's fucking boiling, right? And I don't want to be wearing a shirt. Because what is it? Fucking 29 degrees where I'm at. So I don't really want to be wearing a shirt. But also, I don't know how lenient Twitch is about getting your tits out. I mean, I've seen girls do it on the platform non-stop, and they seem to get away with it. But I feel like as a overweight 26-year-old bloke, maybe there's not an art, there's not a market for that, or maybe I don't get away with it quite as much. Uh, we'll wait 2 secs because I just added the UKL Twitter and they reposted it, so maybe like 1 or 2 people more join. I mean, ultimately it doesn't matter because I'm recording it as well, right? So it'll go on YouTube if people want to watch it like later and stuff. But we'll just we'll hang out for now for like 5 minutes or so. Maybe someone else joins, or maybe I should have actually posted in the Discord as well, saying that I'm going live. That would have been a good idea, but I am not sure. Yes, I am not. I'm not a professional. How do I reply? Should have done all this stuff before it started, but you know, I should have done all this stuff before it started, but I wanted to get the questions off the Google Sheet thing and then into like a thing so you can see the question as well, and I'm not just reading it off a sheet. And obviously that took quite. I had to copy and paste and blah, 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 and all that sort of stuff. And I had loads of time after I got home from work, but I walked to the shop, which is like a 10-minute walk, 10-minute back, and I was just in the heat. I came home and I just drank a beer and just collapsed on the bed. Um, yeah. Hopefully you can't hear the fan as well. It'd be handy if you let me know if you can hear the fan because I don't think you should be able to. I think we'll give it till we'll give it to 5 past. Once it hits 5 past, then we'll start. I also don't know how the webcam looks, but the fact that the window is right behind me, I assume I look okay. I also squashed the ears a bit with the headset, but in hindsight, I should have put the hat over the headset. That would have been nah. Um, don't know what we can do for 2 minutes. Um, I would try my best not to show as much of my room as possible because it's a fucking pigsty because of how hot it is. But see if there's a dog there on the bed. You want to say hello, Hopper? Oh, she's a IRL moderator. Yeah. Oh, well, that's a worse camera angle now. Let's angle that down a bit. Oh my god. Come on. Something like that. Yeah, that looks better. That looks better. Ooh. It is fucking warm. I'm not very good at small talk. Actually, that's a lie. I am. I'm very good at small talk. I'm very good at like at work and stuff, and like outside of this sphere of you know league and gaming and all that sort of stuff. I'm very good at like just corporate like small talk. Like hi, ooh, I'm really good at that. Um, but like sitting in front of the camera now, it's like I don't know what to say. I don't know because I've already moaned about the weather like 4 times. I want to fuck. I can't. I feel like I can say it again for those who don't. For those who are unaware, it's a bit fucking warm. Okay. Well, seeing as it is the time that I said, let us begin. All right. Okay. This is the Do's Q&A. I sent out the form on various platforms. Had a lot of answers. I couldn't put all of them in this PowerPoint because there was like I actually got quite a lot. I don't remember exactly how many I got. There was at least over like oh, it was like sort of like back end of 40. Um, maybe more nearing the 50 levels of questions. So, which is good. This is very good. It just means that I couldn't fit them all in, right? So I've plucked out I've plucked out pretty much most of them. I'm putting on here. Um, now that I'm about to start, I will set a timer to see how long. Because once I get into it, I'm going to start rambling. Because I have a habit of just fucking rambling. So if I have time, I'll go back to the spreadsheet and answer some of the ones that were unanswered. But I don't think I will have time because I just talk a lot. So yeah, let's get into it, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Boom. So the first question from Nemly. It's no question. Just wanted to say that you're a good boy, Mr. Do. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, I like to think of myself as a good boy as well. Um, I'm a big fan of Brod. You guys are awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. So yeah, thank you. That's a nice, wholesome one to start off with. Very wholesome. Um, so we have. So Nathan has asked, "What is your real name?" That's very convenient. Because my name is also Nathan. That's crazy. So either someone, either that's a weird, once in a lifetime coincidence there, we just happen to share the same name, or this person knows my IRL at birth name. Okay. It's my birth name is Nathan. Okay. Now the birth name is just a birth name. It's not a name that I resonate with. The name that I really feel is Scooby, and I'm just trapped. Every day I'm trapped with people calling me Nathan, and I every time someone calls me, I just scream internally because I know that's not my name, and my real name is Scooby. But for those who don't know, legally in the eyes of the law, I am called Nathan. Um, yeah, it's not an overly interesting name. So then we have Mr. Josh Kang said, "How are your balls?" Warm. I will say warm. Uh, at least at the moment, they are very warm. Um, oh, it's a weird. Don't worry. We can go back to the first question. It's coincidence that you said that because that's exactly what the first question was. I appreciate it. Now on to the more pressing questions. How are your balls? Hot. Uh, hot in a heat way, not in a sexual way. But yeah, they're all right. They do the job, I guess. I don't really know. I can go into more details if you want. DM me. It might cost you though. That's like this type of question that I normally reserve that for my OnlyFans type platform, but I'll give you that for free here now. 80 segue. Where can I donate? You can donate by going to the browser and navigating to the website that I made, which is https:// the charity challenge .card.co. I will put it in the chat. And if you go here, you can see here is the link for the crowdfunder, and there's a PayPal link here as well. I listed both because crowdfunder doesn't accept PayPal, and I know a lot of people overseas don't have the banks that crowdfunder wants, so PayPal is better, or Apple Pay and stuff. So I included both, so you can use whichever one best suits you. And the website's good as well because we have a progress tracker, right, of all the things that we've met. And once I've finished this and done the other challenges, they will get put here as well. So you can go to that website. Go over to my Twitter if you want. I post it a lot there, so the link's there. It doesn't really show the link because my banner at the top, but you'll find it. Go to my Twitter. So that's where you can donate. Anonymous said, "Where is Scooby come from?" Now I'm taking this question as to where did the name Scooby come from, and not where the actual dog came from. I can dump Scooby Doo lore on you if you want, but I feel like because it's spelt with the K, this is more of a why am I, you know, why am I Scooby Doo? The question and the answer is it's a good question. I don't fully I kind of remember a bit, but I don't remember a lot. I've gone through a lot of online names, right, over the years. And I remember when I was in school and I was like maybe 15, maybe around then, I wanted a new league name because I'd went through a few different account names over the years. Um, and obviously it's going to come as no surprise that I love Scooby Doo. Oh, shocker! Like genuinely, like as a kid, I used to watch it all the time. It's probably one of my favorite cartoons, and I'm even watching it now as a 26-year-old bloke. I'm going through like every single bit of Scooby Doo media in release order as an adult because it's just like I don't know. It's just it means a lot to me as nostalgia and just I actually think it's like a really good cartoon as well. To be honest, so I wanted a new name, and I remember at school we were playing like this drawing game rather than learning and doing exams and stuff that would progress our future and make it so that I'm probably not sat here right now in a Scooby Doo hat, and I'd probably be like in a mansion and stuff. We played like a drawing game where we used to email ourselves like pictures, like on our school email accounts, and it was kind of like Pictionary but on emails. And I remember, I think I drew the most like horrendously crap Scooby Doo drawing ever, and then that just sort of correlated with the name change era. Um, and then I just sort of changed my league name to it, and I couldn't have Scooby Doo with a C because obviously back in those days you didn't have the hashtags on your account, so each name was 100% unique. So I couldn't have the K, so I just put I couldn't have a C, so I just put a K. And then ever since then, on any platform, I just call myself Scooby Doo with a K, even if I can have a C. I just like you know, I wish I had the drawing. It got fucking nuked when I lost my school account when I was like a fucking kid. I could probably recreate it. Ask me later on today after a few more beers, and I could probably draw it again, and it will probably be even more shit than it was the first time round. Uh, Phrase, would you rather crack Velma or Daphne? That's a good question. That is a good question. Would. Oh, I think Velma. Now, I think Daphne is probably the clear-cut answer for a lot of people. But if you see, like, if you watch Scooby Doo, yes, he knows the live-action Velma is like Maron. Yeah. I think like that was like even when I was watching that as a kid, I was like, damn, this lady got some souls, and that was me as a kid. So like, I think she would get it. Ooh. I think out of cracking Fred or Shaggy, it's Shaggy. I think Fred would be too much for me. He's a very big, burly man, very dominating and commanding, and very much in charge. I, I, I think Shaggy will be a bit more chill with it. You know what I mean? There'd be less pressure. I think Fred would maybe have standards or stuff that I should meet, whereas like Shaggy just goes. He's more of a vibes based person, right? So I think that's the answer to that. So yeah, that's where the name Scooby came from. I haven't looked back ever since, to be honest. Um, how big is it from Scooby's Fangirls? Now, because this is a family-friendly channel, I'm assuming how big is it is referring to my Scooby Doo collection, which is pretty big. Obviously, I mean, I have the hat that I'm wearing now. I have the full head-to-toe jumpsuit, full-blown furry costume. I have slippers that are Scooby Doo ones, which I wonder if I can reach from my PC. I have Scooby Doo slippers that I got for Christmas this last Christmas. My girlfriend's mother got me those. They are pretty sick. I have Scooby Doo socks somewhere. I don't have Scooby Doo pants. I have a plethora of Scooby Doo DVDs. And I think I even have some Scooby Doo VHSs downstairs. So I have a lot of Scooby Doo stuff. I also have a newly acquired. I will have to put my headset down for this, but I will showcase this because it's a very sick piece of artwork. I also recently got gifted a hand-drawn Scooby Doo sketch. Sketch work from my girlfriend's sister, who is very talented. Because I think that is fucking sick. To be just like someone just drew that like freehand. It's not even like a sketch thing, trace thing or anything. That's just like completely free-handed. Like I think that's fucking dope. I'm gonna put it on my wall at some point when I get maybe a frame or something because I think that is sick. So I have a lot of Scooby Doo things. If we're referring to the other thing, then it's like slightly above average. Um, right. Yeah, I blame a lot of my what people would refer to as mummy issues on Scooby Doo 2, the live action movie. Yeah. No, all right, so Brody, want to go to the pub? I would love to go to the pub. Um, once one of these days we will do a team outing to the pub. Obviously it's hard because we're not all in the same place. But we'll make it happen. Mark my words, one of these days we will make it happen. Anonymous, how did you first get into League slash Pro Play? I first got into League, which I'm sure a lot of people did the same thing. A friend or my friends recommended or showed me the game when I was like ooh, 12, maybe. Whenever the back end of season 3 was, I think I started playing the game at the very back end of season 3. I would Google it, but I don't actually want to know when that is because I already feel old. So they recommended it. Well, they showed me it, and I played with them. Actually, when I first started playing League, I used to play on the American servers because my friends had like American friends. So I made an American account, and I look back now, and I'm like, I don't even know how I managed that because I moan now when my ISP sucks, right? So I get like maybe 35 to 40 ms is like average, right? And that even that I'm like, damn, this is slow. I hate this. I don't know how I used to play in the American servers with like close to 100 ping and just sort of that was just normal. Um, but they got me first into it. Um, and from the second I played it, I was like addicted to it. I picked it up quite quickly in terms of like base understanding. Obviously, I had like my noob era where I built like 5 giant spells. I remember one of my earliest memories of League is I played a game of Renekton top and I built like 5 giant spells, just the components, and didn't upgrade them. And I went to school when I went to my mate and I was like, "Yo, man, I just dropped fucking mad game, bro. I built 5 giant spell. I was unkillable." And then he was like, "Yo, that's stupid, bro. That's like why did you not just complete the item?" And I was like, "What do you mean, bro?" I was like, "Unkillable." And then he explained to me how like just building 5 giant spells is stupid and you should just complete the item. That's my earliest memory, I think, of the game. Um, and then like so they got me into League, and I played ranked a lot. Um, and then I watched Pro when I was a kid, like a lot. Like I remember when I was young, I used to watch like TSM and Fnatic, like the old orgs where it was like, TSM was like Odd One, Dyrus, Yellow Star, Wild Turtle, even Reggie, to be fair, back when he ended off. And like I just remember I used to watch those all the time. And from the point of watching those pro games, I was like, holy shit, I want to be this. I want to be this, like, I want to like be a professional league player. Um, I never did anything with that idea because I was always just like gold or like, like a proper noob. And like, so I just sort of like watched it and I always really enjoyed it. And then I only really got into pro when I think when I was like in the diamond rank era. And then like, I was like, I want to play pro, but like obviously I ain't gonna just hop into LEC or anything stupid like that. So like, um, I was like, what's the middle ground? So I joined Challenger Mode, that website, played on a bunch of different teams, and then eventually ended up in the UKL, which is a long story. Like my history of getting into the UKL is like a long one, which is maybe a different video because that's like that shit could be a novel. But I basically played on challenger modes, and then like eventually ended up in the UKL. And then here I've ever been since because I like League and I like Pro League, and playing Pro League is my favorite part about League because I think League at its core was designed as a team game, not a solo queue game. So the game is just infinitely more fun when you have 5 people in a team playing as opposed to playing like solo queue, right? So that's how I got into pro play, and that's why I still play pro. Um, yeah, like people know. Yeah, I think we all had that arc when we first started League where we thought we were like geniuses, right? We thought we tapped into something sick. Like I remember going like, why am I upgrading my giant spell to some fires when I can just buy 5 more giant spells and it's like at a fraction of the price. You think you're like a genius, and then like looking back, you're like, nah, that's not it, chief. But that's how I got into it. Yeah, Mystery Mayhem on PC. That was a fucking sick game. That was a sick game. It was a very sick game. Uh, the first one of the first games I ever played was a Scooby Doo game, which was like I didn't remember what it was called, but it was basically like a mystery machine with like a joystick, and you plugged it into the analog connectors on the back of your screen way before PS2 and stuff, and you basically just like went. It was like a platformer, and that was one of the first games I actually remember playing. Um, oh, did you miss Mr. Segway? I forget. Was Yeah, man, don't worry. 80 Segway has already been answered. Don't you worry. So that's how I got into pro. Um, and why I still play pro because it's just something it's really fun. It's something I really like. Favorite champion. My favorite champion is Bard, the Chime Minister, as I call him. Um, he is by far, yeah, GP as well. Okay, this question needs some nuance around it. Before I was a pro support player, I think I played every role apart from mid. I've one tricked every role apart from mid, except for when I was like silver, and then I played mid a lot. But I've played every other role like up to diamond, at one point or another, and I went through many one trick eras, especially in the top lane. I think I was a GP one trick at one point, to the point where I forget what I was, top 20 or something in the US, something like that. Not rank wise, just like points and skill. Like it wasn't like, well, I guess there wasn't actually that many GP players at that point, so it's a bit of a fake stat. But I was a GP one trick called Show Me Your Booty was my Smurf account actually. My main account was Yar Walk the Highlights, which was my YouTube channel back then. I was a singed one trick as well for a really long time called Proxy Lane Win Game, and I would just do exactly that, right? I'd proxy and all that sort of stuff. So I've been a one trick a lot. So it's hard to say what my favorite champ is because like I literally have like Gangplank. I have a Gangplank, not statue, but like ornament over on my shelf. So like he means like a lot to me. But I think ultimately Bard is my favorite champ because Bard is one of the reasons why I swapped from top. Because I would always get filled to support. Whenever I get support, I'd play Bard and I would have the time of my life and just smurf the game. And eventually I was like, this champ is so much fun, and this, you know what I mean? So like, and to this day, I still think like, if I had to like pick one champ and I can only play one champ for the rest of my life, I think I'm picking Bard. And he's just chill. Like, it's hard to get tilted when you're playing Bard because like, games going to shit. Everyone's telling each other to like jump off cliffs and stuff, but then you're just like running around the map just collecting chimes. Like who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? It's like Zen. It's the closest you can get to like Zen gameplay. You just go around collecting chimes. It's bliss. I would play him for the rest of like eternity if I had to. We have Anonymous again, who says how was the kiss handsome? Now because this is anonymous, this could be a lot of people. I've kissed a lot of people in my lifetime, so this could be many people. I have an inkling to who I think it is. Of which I will say it was very good. It was very good, and we should do it again. I would dare to say as well. What music do you like? Fave band? Question mark. Um, I would say okay. So fave band is Blink 182 is my favorite band. Um, full stop. They're one of the few bands that I actually got into when I was like younger. Um, and okay, I guess okay. Serious answer is Simple Plan's version of the Scooby Doo intro. That's the serious answer. The corporate or boring answer is Blink 182. Um, they are probably my favorite bands. In terms of what music do I like? I like most things rock. I'm more of a rock guy, but so like I like stuff like I think pop punk is probably my favorite music genre. Then it's like maybe like metalcore and alt rock as well because alt rock is so broad. A lot of new metal as well. I like a lot of things that are rock, but I also like some like I have a my main thing is rock, but I also have like a non-rock playlist where it's like more pop stuff and it's like like Take That and those cheesy ones. Like I like those as well. At the moment I'm really into a band called Jamiroquai. He's more of a funk disco band who are like really I really like them. So I'd recommend if you want like if you're like bored of if you've got music fatigue like I did for a bit and you want to try something different, then I would recommend them. But if it's rock, I'll probably like it. Um, I think as I got older, I can listen to most music. As I was younger, I was very anti anything that isn't rock because I was like very stubborn and whatever. I was like, if it's not rock, then it just sucks. And as I've grown up, I've realized that's just like a really stupid take. There's like lots of good music out there, and it's music is subjective anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So maybe that's like part of like maturing. But yeah, anything rock, I'll probably like. And like I said, at the moment, I'm really into Jamiroquai. So if you want something a bit different, I would recommend checking them out. Favorite Star Wars movie? Um, Now that's a good one as well. I think my favorite movie is probably Revenge of the Sith because I think that the sequels are a bit. I don't like the sequels. I think Episode 7 is all right, and then 8 and 9 are just like I watched them recently. I'm sure if you follow my Twitter, you've seen my reviews of them. Um, they were a tough watch. I was like, I'm not watching these probably ever again unless I have to. 7 was all right. Prequels, I actually kind of like. I think they're overhated in my opinion. But maybe that's because when I was a kid, I grew up watching them a lot with my uncle. But even when I rewatched them, I was like, I still think these are overhated. But I think of the original trilogy. I think Revenge of the Sith. That is a movie that I could watch over and over again. And I think that Christian's acting on it is like was so overhated to the point where like it was just like cruel almost. And now it's nice that people have done a 180 and kind of realized that this movie is actually kind of goated and he's kind of goated, and like that's like a good thing I think. So I think Revenge of the Sith is probably my favorite Star Wars movie. Yeah, I think it's that's my favorite one. I think I don't. There's a lot of I like A New Hope as well. That's good, but I think Revenge of the Sith. And then we have another one from Anonymous who says, "How is your mum, mate? She's good. She's in Vietnam at the moment. Um, she is not long come. She's not long started traveling back from Australia, which is where my sister lives. Because she went over 4 weeks ago because my sister had a baby. Um, so she's been out there for 4 weeks with her. I wanted to go, but money and time, it's not happening. But she should be back in the UK soonish with the little fella. So that should be good. So yeah, she's good. She's in Vietnam, and after Vietnam, she comes home. So yeah, she's good. Thank you for checking up on her. Another one from Anonymous. Favorite team you've played for, both players and org, if you want. Um, I think. Hmm, favorite team is interesting because I've been blessed with being on a lot of good teams and with a lot of good people. So I have like mostly fond memories of everything. I think my favorite team. Oh, it really is like a 50-50. I think favorite team wise, like actually, because I think I hold a real good memory from my time on Rise, um, with me, DDD, Shmion, Teddy, um, and pick any of the junglers we had, Fan One, James, a few others. Anyway, that core of Shmion, Teddy, and me and DDD was like probably one of my favorite times. But I also I'm very much invested on Nuke now Sun. I think that is also one of my favorite teams that I've been on. I think it is a 50-50 split, to be honest, between Rise and Nuke and now Sun, in my opinion. I think both teams are amazing, and I'm actually insanely thankful that I got to play and am still playing on one of those teams. Yeah, the Div 2 Pinnacle, yeah, Div 2 days times in Rise was a crazy run. That was so good. And I think because a lot of weight with the Rise era is my history with Shmion and Teddy, especially Shmion and Teddy. Like we've known each other a long time now, like a long, long time. And me and DDD have known each other a long, long time as well. So I think that plays a big um, factor. But I'm really thankful that I have ended up on Nuke or Sun with you guys because that's an amazing team as well to be on. Even though you tried to kick me, you fucking dickheads. Um, you know, I'm over that now. By the way, I've moved on. Um, yeah, it's probably not public knowledge, is it? To be fair, these motherfuckers tried to kick me and then they begged me to join back. Crazy. Um, yeah, it's a 50-50 split. Um, player wise, I've already mentioned, I think, a lot of the players, to be fair. I think I hold a real soft spot for me and DDD's time in Div 1 and Div 2. I think at the peak of mine and his performance, we were like insanely good, like really good. Like we would beat pretty much every bot lane. And that's not even ego, that's just, it just happened. And I think that at that point in time was probably the best I've played, and maybe he's played, and we played together. I think that's probably like the peak. I think so far. That might change. Hopefully, it does. Um, why play support? Open brackets noob question mark. Um, I play support because it's fun and I actually enjoy it. I've played every other role other than mid up to like Diamond One level, and I just don't really find them fun. I played top lane for years and years. I only started off playing top because uh, my friends wanted me to play top because nobody else did. So, and back then when I started in like season 3, top was like probably the easiest role to learn because there was like not the cringe stuff that happens these days in top lane. So I always like got filled to support. Whenever I got filled to support, I would pick like Bard and just like have fun and win the games. And eventually I was like, maybe I'm actually more kitted out to play support. So I like rolled up to support, actually had more fun, climbed better, and I was like, yeah, I am just like mentally and because I don't even think it's the hands. I mean, maybe it's. I'm not saying that I'm like prime fakey with my hands because Lord knows I fucking aren't. Um, but like I don't think my hands, like my mechanics, is like an issue. I think it's more just like my mentality and what I want to do when I play League is just more kitted towards support, like playmaking and all this sort of stuff. I don't really care about like CSing and doing all these things. I more care about like setting up plays and doing these engages. Like my play style just always fitted better for support. So I swapped to it years ago, and I still play other roles occasionally. Just to like I played a lot of AD carry and stuff recently, and I continue to do so because I think you need to understand bot lane better. But ultimately, I just think I am just better kitted for support. Favorite Scooby Doo series or movie? I think. Oh, I'll do movie first because my movie answer is definitely. I think it's Zombie Island. To be honest, the first one. I think that's probably my favorite Scooby Doo movie. Um, because I think it's just really good. Like even as like an adult, you could watch it. Like I remember I was watching as a kid, and I genuinely got scared by it. But it's one of those ones where like I don't know, everything's good. Like the actual story arc is like really good for saying it's like a cartoon. The animation's like fine. Well, it's actually the animation's like pretty good. Low key, it scared me as a kid. Um, so that's definitely my favorite movie. There's like maybe a shout out for like I really like the Cyber Chase as well. That's also a really good one where you have to go into like the computer game. That's also like a really good one. For series, it's harder. I think I think Mystery Incorporated is a really good series. Because that one tackles like more adult themes in it. So like it just felt maybe like a bit different when it came out. But also, What's New Scooby Doo is also just like the go. I think ultimately my favorite probably is What's New Scooby Doo, and then after that, I think Mystery Incorporated definitely is up there as well. Um, so they're probably my favorite. Where were you on the 11th? Yeah, we won't answer that one. Top three games of all time. Interesting question from William. Uh, if we're going off raw hours played, it's obviously League. And then it's like probably, well, I say probably, then it's Hearthstone. And then probably like Minecraft, even though I don't play it much now. But historically, how much I have, it's probably the top three hours wise. And outside of that, I've played a lot of like Smite. I've played a lot. I really do enjoy Smite. I haven't played it in a while. Dead by Daylight was like I used to play that game like that was the game that cost me my GCSEs basically because I would play it every single night till like 1 a.m. even on exam nights and just grind it out. So they're like probably my top games hour wise. Top three games that I like regardless of hours. Like as much as I hate it, League is up there as one. It has to be. Um, I think yeah, RuneScape's a good shot actually. RuneScape is like also definitely up there as well. I think League's my top one. I hate Hearthstone with a passion, and I regret every time I re-download it. It's just miserable. But then I have to grind to Legend every time because it's just a route, yeah, an infinite loop of pain you get stuck in. So that's not going up there. It's League, probably Pokemon. I think I couldn't say Pokemon's not up there. I played like pretty much every single Pokemon game other than the Switch era of ones. Um, I don't know what my third would be. It prob it probably is like Minecraft, even though I don't play it so much now. I think just historically and what that game is, it has to be up there. Um, there's an argument for RuneScape as well. Like I need to get back into my RuneScape uh, grind, but I'm such a busy guy now, playing all these games and watching all this stuff that I don't have time for it. But that will soon come. Uh, as the resident IT guy, could you fix my printer? Could I? Yes. Do I want to? No. I fucking hate printers. They are by far the worst thing about IT, in my opinion. I despise them with a passion. So could I? Yes. Do I want to? No. raise a ticket, and I will just close the ticket because I can't be asked. DDD asked 100 man or one gorilla. Now this is an interesting question because I think this question needs levels to it. Okay, because obviously, like based on that alone, I'm dying no matter what. But am I allowed like tools and shit? Because like if I'm allowed like tools and like time to plan, I'm pretty stupid, but I can probably outsmart a gorilla. If it's 100 men, like no shot. If it's like raw dog, 100 men spawn in front of me and a gorilla spawns in front of me, I'm just dead. I don't give a shit. I'll flip a coin. I'm just dead. I'd probably pick the gorilla because maybe I could like calm him down a bit and maybe like give him like a banana or some shit and just be like, relax. I can maybe befriend him. What I mean? I've got a better chance befriending like one gorilla than 100 men because they're all like different, and like very vastly different. I got a better chance with that if that's the angle. If I have time to prep and plan and I have tools, then I'm picking the gorilla. Which one would I rather sex with? Well, I'm following Bonnie Blue, bro. Add another digit to that 100, and I'm going for the men. Was the hottest person in Nuke or Sun? Okay, I'm assuming for this one we're excluding me because in both eras, obviously I was. So if we're excluding me, um, it's interesting because it's the word hottest that gets here. Because I think there's a difference between like being hot and being like handsome. Like for example, I think Josh is very hot, but like Tim is like very handsome. It's like they're a bit different on the spectrum, on like different ways of thinking about it. I think we're merging it into one, then it's clearly Elling, to be honest, for just both. Um, Hands down, really. Don't think anybody's going to argue with me on that. Whoever's seen his face knows that that is just the objective right answer, and if they want to disagree with it, then. Will you clean shave the beard if you meet your target? Now, no, I will not. And you might call me many things. You can call me Hitler. You can do what you want. Um, I've seen pictures of me, no facial hair. I don't want to ever go back to that. I look so much worse, beyond belief. So I will not clean shave it for this target. No, I just wouldn't. There's a universe where I consider if we breach this target and we get like to a whole nother level, then I would maybe consider looking like a chud just walking around with my non facial hair. But I think um permanently inking my body forever as the main target right now is good enough for now. I'd rather do that. It goes to show how much worse I am with no facial hair. That I'd rather ink my body for life than just shave something that grows back. That goes to show how much worse I look without facial hair. So we will not be doing this for now. What is your opinion on the Communist Manifesto? Do you have any favorite passages? Which quotes do you personally consider to be inspiring or perhaps a sort of mantra? Now, this is actually a good question. Finally, I think that the communist agenda has kind of been slept on for a long time, um, because like everyone these days is just all about like I don't know communism. Everyone's all about capitalism these days, aren't they? And it feels like it's maybe been like left in the dirt. But in terms of passengers from it, I don't really have any like ones that I look back to. I think it's a good idea, and if you want to be it, you want to be it, you know. But I don't have any mantras of theirs that I necessarily live by. The second they do a Scooby Doo goes to Russia type, you know, movie or series, then I'll change my tune. Maybe I'll change my tune. And now we have which tangible improvements have you personally felt in the transition between Nuclear Vikings and Sea Cows United? I think that um, one sec. I think that obviously a bit of a pun because obviously it's the same team, name changed. But if we're looking at this on a serious perspective, I think a main difference has been my outlook on many things, and I think my sort of drive or the way I view things. I think that now I like to think even in losses in officials or scrims or whatever, I like to think that I am personally in a better place handling it. Historically, I've always taken playing these games very seriously. So when we lose, or I do bad, or I think I am the reason that we lost, or whatever, it would hit me really hard in the past. It still hits me now. If I think I'm the reason that I've lost as a game or a scrim or whatever, or the weight of real life is sometimes a bit heavy. Like I think it still affects me, but I think now it doesn't affect me as much, and I my mentality is overall more positive, and I like to think that that brushes off on people as well, right? So I think that's probably the most improvement, the main improvements. Mechanically, I'm still shit, so I don't can't really say that I've improved that much on that. I think it's more of a mental thing that I've probably actually changed about. Um, yeah, still fucking ain't got any hands. What is the hardest part of organizing these charity events and being so handsome? I'll answer the first part first because that is, So the hardest part about organizing these charity events is like probably just the time investment. Obviously that sounds a bit harsh, right? Because in theory I shouldn't care about the time investment, and I don't. But obviously I have like, it's gonna sound crazy, but I have a life. Um, so like, yeah, I think the hardest part is kind of finding the time to organize these things. Like for this one, for example, making the website and like the donation links, and then deciding what they're going to be, and doing stuff like this now. Like it's the time investment really is probably the hardest thing. But obviously the payoff is way is the payoff is obviously completely worth it, right? 100%. Um, so that's probably the hardest part. Um, the being so handsome part, like yeah, I know it is tough. Like like I just can't walk down the street without people like catcalling me and stuff, and it's like yeah, I know, I'm really handsome, but it's like you kind of get used to it, really. Um, yeah, but to go back to the first part, it's the time investment and also the energy and the passion, because you got to have the energy and passion to do it. Um, and that's why I think I do these things more now, because I have this more positive outlook on things, and I want to make a difference, and I want to do these things because it's just like sick that I can sit here right now, and I'm sitting here right now, and like I have a potential to like be the change maker in like an animal's life. Like I would never have thought years down the line that that would ever even be a thing, really. So I'm just that the main thing is just like time, energy, and drive to do it. But that is a good thing to have. Having those things is good. So I appreciate everybody who gets involved with it, because like stuff like this is really fucking fun. So I would love to keep doing stuff like this and stuff, um, you know, as like a community. Top three movies slash series. This one's gonna be hard because like obviously when you're put on the spot with this question, it's tough. So top three is I won't include top. I won't really do top three because I don't think I'll be able to. I'll rattle off some of my favorite ones. I think for series, I think Star Wars, Clone Wars, the animated series is probably one of my favorite series. Obviously, the Scooby Doo series as well. If we're talking about more mainstream ones, I really like The Boys as a series. I know season five was a bit ass, and people really hate it, but I think season one, two, and three of The Boys was like sick, and probably one of my favorite series to watch. I even liked series four of it as well, and I didn't mind series five because it was still entertaining and fun. But objectively, I think it was not great because it was rushed and it felt like it tried to do too much stuff. So they're probably like my favorite series. I think. Oh, I've missed a clear one. Actually, my favorite series ever is Trailer Park Boys. That's probably my favorite series. If you don't know Trailer Park Boys, go Google it. It's on Netflix. Go watch it. That is a fucking great series. It's a mockumentary. Great series. I love that series. Yeah, that is probably my favorite series. There you go. There you go. There's your answer there. I remembered now. That's the one. Um, Great series. Go watch it. It's really funny. You can turn your brain off. It's just like really like just funny stuff. Like it's just great. Movies. Um, I don't really know what my favorite movies would be. Probably like I think Jurassic Park's probably up there. Like the very first one. That's definitely up there. Yeah, Pokemon 2000s movie. That's definitely up there as well. I think as well. Um, God, I'm not like now that I think about it, I can't think of many. I like a lot of movies, but I can't think of like definitively my favorite ones. I think Pokemon 2000 that is a great movie. Jurassic Park is a great movie. I've already said Star Wars, like Revenge of the Sith is probably up there as well as one of them as well. To go back to that, I think Blade Runner is pretty good. Indiana Jones is also pretty good. Again, that's vague, right? Because there's so many of them. Like Crystal Skull, maybe. No, Crystal Skull. That one was fucking questionable. Lost Ark, maybe. That's like a pretty good one. Um, Wreck It Ralph, Barbie, the great one. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, Barbie. I do love Harrison Ford. Who doesn't love Harrison Ford? Like he's like a fucking great actor, and he's funny as shit. So yeah. But okay, favorite movie, Barbie. Favorite series, Trailer Park Boys. Uh, bist du gut anung? Du bist gut anung to you too. Du bist gut anung to everybody in this chat. For anybody who doesn't know, that's German for you are enough. Yeah, I'm bilingual. I know. And that's it. Um, yeah, that's all the questions. There was a few more on the spreadsheet, but obviously I'm conscious of time, so I assume, yeah. Which one did you ask? Hang on, let me check. Actually, don't even bother. Just type it in chat. Type it in chat. It'd be quicker than me going to the spreadsheet again. Oh, it's a secret question just for you. Okay, is that why I didn't? Is that why I didn't include it on this one? Because I thought it was too personal. Go, where's the secret question? Is for you. I mean, there's a new question that's just come in. Is that your one, or is that someone else? Because obviously we have the Kiss one. I was originally thinking that the Kiss one was Shmeon, because me and him shared a very wet, hot kiss at the UKL finals. But I'm now thinking maybe the Kiss one was you, and you missed that one. Shmeon exposed. Okay, so was that one you? Because that's why by the anonymous thing, I thought, like I said, I'm a bit of a whore in the UKL scene. So this could have been like maybe this question says more about me than it does about anything else, and the fact that I've kissed so many people, men specifically. But I don't discriminate. Right. I will say goodbye for now. Only for the YouTube video because it's so long already. This is going to take so long to upload for people who can't see it. So I will say goodbye for now for YouTube. But I'll hang around for a sec for you guys still in Twitch.